Hello, everyone. I see we've got 3 people trickling in here. How are we all doing today on this lovely Sunday? I think it's lovely here. I hope it's lovely where you are. I've got my Stygian banner set up. You can't really see the whole thing, but I'm very happy with it. It's pretty cool. It's what I've got for the markets that we'll be going to. We're going to our first market in a week. The next weekend, we're doing our first market in Montreal, Exposine, and then we're also doing a Christmas market in December on the 21st and 22nd. I can't remember that location, but it's the artisan market in Montreal, so that is exciting. Just give everyone a couple minutes to come in. Hey, Tanya, nice to see you. How is it doing in Florida now? We're having a pretty warm fall in Montreal, which I'm happy about because the longer fall lasts, the better. I'm not a extreme seasons person, being summer and winter. I'm all about fall and spring. I'm going to try to run a pretty tight ship with the sprints today, because last time we did not get in as many as I would have liked. So it's always hard to find that balance of talking and writing, because I want to talk a bit and not just sit here in silence the whole time. But I also want us to be able to get a good amount of writing in. South Africa, hello. Cool weather is nice. When I was in Florida, it was in the summer, so it was pretty hot, and I'm not good with heat. I'm terrible with heat. And Poland. This is a worldly group we have here. Awesome. I want to visit Poland. My family is Polish, Ukrainian, Swedish, and English, so I had wanted to go to Ukraine, but not happening anytime soon, unfortunately. I was in Romania, though. That's sort of as close as I got, and I loved it so much. I kind of felt like I was coming home. I think that Eastern European location is just, having such a background from there, even though I had never been there before. There's something about it. You just show up, and you're like, oh yeah, this is where my people are from. It's kind of cool. All right, so we've got 5 people. I think this is probably a good time to get started. For anyone who just joined, I was saying how I wanted to get in more sprints than we did, not last week, but the week before. So I am going to try to limit my talking and not rant too much. I'm hoping, one little personal thing. If anyone follows my social media, I sort of recently got a ADHD diagnosis, and I was sort of trying to figure something out, and it makes a lot of sense, and I have meds, but I don't want to go on the meds. So I'm trying everything right now to not go on the meds, and right now I'm trying L-theanine because my CEO at the company I work for, he is ADHD and has gone on and off meds, and he suggested that. So I have found it's been pretty good for focus. So hopefully I will be focused today, because I have the L-theanine and I have some coffee, because the L-theanine takes away the anxiety I get from coffee, or it has so far. So fingers crossed. Alrighty. What we are going to do, thank you. Yeah, it is it's nice to know, right? And then you can sort of know what you're treating and dealing with. And I'm curious about the medication, but I'm also terrified of it. I'm not someone who likes medications or drugs. They scare me so much. If I take a pill, I'm like, oh God, what's it going to do to me? Sometimes I overreact to vitamins. So I have a really weird system. All right, so what we're going to do today for our writing, and oh, by the way, even when we get going, you can write, of course. Hey, Alan. Oh, and no worries at all. We were doing a workshop on Discord in the order earlier, and on stage, there's the little hand, right? And it raises your hand to come on stage, but it also looks like a wave. Discord confuses me. It really confuses me. I'm still figuring it out. But it's nice to see you, Alan, twice today. All right, so for our sprints, what we're going to do is we are going to do as many 15-minute sprints as we can up until the 3:30 mark, or 3:30 Eastern. So we're going to do an hour and a half of 15-minute sprints, and then we're going to wind things up with one longer half-hour sprint that'll take us to the end of the session. I will be on for 2 hours. starting now. So, and yeah, anyone who wants to share, please tell us what you are working on in the chat. I'm very curious to know. And on the break, I am going to tell you a tiny bit about what I'm writing for my November challenge and how that's going. And yeah, I hope that we have a good writing session. I'm going to add our little timer to the stage here. It's kind of loud. Let's fix that volume. And push it back. So we're going to do a 15-minute sprint. I will be muting myself, but if you want to ask something in the chat, I will be there. Get ready to write, and let's go. All right, first one down. How did everyone do? I only got 87 words, but I was doing some research as well. I'm trying not to research too much and just write and then fill things in after and make sure they're accurate after I've done the writing. But there are some things I simply can't write unless I do the research. So it's a little bit of back and forth. So I'm writing in 1872 Montreal. So there's a lot of things. Like for example, oh yeah, I've done so many writing events this weekend. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was one sentence that I was writing that was simply someone like announcing news that had happened like in the paper that day, and I had to think, wait, okay, it's the morning. How would he have gotten the newspaper? Where would he have gotten it? Where did they sell it? And like, what was the map of the city like? How far would he go? Where would his home be? Like just a million questions popped up the second I just wanted to say this thing happened in the news today. So it's different. It's definitely different. I like researching and I love historical stuff, but I'm it's not the thing that I have written as much in the past. It's something I would like to write a lot more moving forward, but I'm mostly in the fantasy world. And in fantasy, you're building up quite a world and you have to keep a lot in mind. You have to have all the notes, but you're making the accuracy, right? Which makes it a lot easier. No, I have not. And this is not my art, so I wouldn't speak on what specifically the artist did. I showed this earlier, but just to show again, this is our banner for some markets that we're going to. It's from actually, look, I have it right here. It's actually the cover of the Stygian collection. So what I can say is, Stygian means hellish, dark, and it's related to the river Styx. So hence the skulls and death and all of that. The artist is Lori, known as Nile. That's her art, Nihil. Incredible Montreal artist, really, really incredible. Yeah, that's the thing with these first like 1 or 2 sprints when you get into a session. I find that you generally take up the first little bit with going back and seeing where you were at, etc. But yes, I do remember you mentioning this, and I was very interested in it because I'm sort of pursuing putting stuff out online first and like getting it betaed and doing kind of a hybrid thing for my fantasy novel that's coming out. And thank you. It is. It is. I was so happy with this. The spine, like she did all the art for everything here. You have on the spine too, it's like little details on every part in the back. And she also did interior illustrations. So if you happen to get a copy of the book, we've got little title pages. We're very focused on the art in Stygian. We always have an artist for every book that we do. Dark Flock, we worked with a Winnipeg artist named Nico Rudolph, and this is just amazing. I love how it turned out. Very cool. We did little posters and stuff inside. We have an intermission partway through, and we even did like a little, I don't know if I can show this, a little bird animated flip book with a flying bird. I love these books. They make me so happy. Cozy murder mystery. Our Christmas book is a cozy mystery. No murder, though. I am working on a murder mystery, though. Just not so cozy. It's more of a dark academia. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you all the title, because I have a title now. Yay! My last update, if anyone watched it, I've been trying to do weekly vlogs, but it's a bit of a struggle. So I did have one on Monday, and I had a blurb about the story because I figured out the story, but I didn't have a title. So officially now, the title for my work in progress is A Covenant of Bones, and I'm very happy with it. 1872 Montreal medical students body snatching, murder secret societies. It's kind of overwhelming. It's a lot, but I think it's going to be a really enjoyable read in the end if you like that kind of thing. Oh yeah, I'm glad you like the flip detail. We had a meeting and we were talking about all the cool little like gimmicky things, like just fun stuff we could do with the art and everything. And I was like, what if we did a flip book and everyone it was just a unanimous, yes, we are doing this. And thank you. I'm very happy. I usually have a title really early on, and it took me a while. This whole project is different from everything I'm used to doing. Thank you. I had a couple other ones first, and then I looked it up, and there were already books named that, so this one has not already been done. I hate when that happens, when you think of something and it's perfect, and then you look it up, and you're like, oh, other people did it already. Oh, really? I love that. That's so cool. I always think of Canada as like the country that always has sort of like, you know, colorful, fun stuff with our documents, but that is extra cool. We have with our passports like a blacklight feature where you can see like separate art on it and sort of shiny like holographic elements on our money and stuff. The people in the US a lot of the time make fun of our money. They say it's like monopoly money, not real money. But when I went through Europe, I have to say there was a lot of fun money there too. So I think only the US is the one with the US is more the outlier than the other countries. Okay, so I promised not to talk too much so that we can get some sprints in. And I'm going to start our next one. Just go back. This always starts automatically. Let me get this going. Oh, just going back to look at your comment here to show it properly. That is interesting. Maybe you've got something in your subconscious. It's drawn to the religious. Mine sounds pretty religious, and I don't know, like if there are even going to be religious elements. I think covenant is just people think of that with religion. I do, but not necessarily. Alrighty, we're going to get into our next 15-minute sprint. And I hope that we can all move forward with our writing, maybe stop the research and reviewing a little bit. That's what I'm telling myself, but it's probably not going to happen. And my goal is to get more than 87 words in this one. That's my personal goal for the next 15 minutes. All right, let's start. All right, and we're back. I did not accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. I definitely didn't. I was researching more, so this is just how it's going to be. This is how it's going to be. I don't know if anyone noticed me laughing. I don't think I can say this on YouTube, but I'm my character is a McGill medical student from 1872, and I'm looking up graduate lists from that time, well, from 76. I'm including this character it's a mix of real characters and fictional events. And one of my real characters is Thomas Neil Cream. And so I'm looking up like his graduating class from 76 because I'm thinking, okay, this would have been the class in 72. And along with the students, it lists their various thesis topics. And I learned a new thing today. It's about excessive discharge of a certain region of the male body. And it sounds like diarrhea, but it's something else. Yeah, my sense of humor is not always the most mature, but I learned a new thing, and I learned that someone would write a thesis on that, so that's interesting. 87 words, excellent. We're the 87 club. What did I get? I got 38. So I'm sitting at what am I sitting at for the day? I changed a couple things too. I'm at 125 for the day. But with research and knowledge of new medical terminology. So there's that. Oh no. I feel that. I have the rabbit holes I have had to avoid. Oh my gosh. I really, really have tried my best. 202, excellent. You know what's really weird? This background music that I use, this Celtic music, it's like one of my favorite genres. It's supposed to be public domain, like royalty free, but I always get a strike for it. I don't know. And then I notice it after the video, like the live goes up, and then I keep telling myself I'm going to look into it and like contact the creator and then get new music, and then I just don't because it's too much. I don't think it really matters if lives are struck. Especially, I'm not even monetized right now, but I think about like for the day I am. On the Haunted Montreal channel, we are monetized, and I'm very, very careful. 214. Yes, yeah, if you're already in it, that is going to help for sure. It takes me a while to get going, and then every time, you know, without exception, I just get going, and we're in the last half hour, and I get really into it in that half hour, and then we're done. I know I could keep writing after. Sometimes I do, but usually at that point, it's like, all right, I've dedicated a couple hours to this. I have a million other things I need to do, and I do that. I have to, I'm finishing the formatting and the cover design for our Christmas book, and so that's almost ready to go, which is really good because I want to have it ready for December 1st. We have Indiegogo backers, and I want to make sure they get their books in time for the holidays. We started funding way earlier than we normally do because we had problems with this in the past, just with the books not coming out on time. And Amazon's an experience. If I didn't have to work with Amazon, I wouldn't. But I tried to switch to Ingram, and they were even worse. So we don't have many options. Someone please make another platform to compete with Ingram and Amazon, please. I would do it, but I can't start another project. I'm drawn to way too many of them. I start way too many things. And then I never have time for anything. Alrighty. We're at 250, so I'm hoping we have, let's see, so it'll be 3. I'm hoping we'll have time for 2 more 15-minute sprints, and hopefully that warms us up enough, gets us ready to go, so that in that final half hour we can really get some work in. I hope that you are all feeling good about the words you're getting so far. I'm okay with mine. I'm okay. It's just the intro. I'm in this intro. I have, how many words total? I have like 961 words total in writing. And it's very like getting started, and I'm not fully into it yet. I also need to do character profiles. I didn't do those. I did a very basic like little paragraph for each character, so I'm not working with the same level of detail I normally would, so maybe I will do that this evening. And I love character work. Characters are my thing. Characters and dialogue are my thing. I want to do it. All right. right, I'm gonna get us ready for this next one. Stop. It always starts without me. Don't do this. I've seen some numbers fluctuating with people who are here, by the way, so if you are new, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We are doing, I think, 2 more 15-minute sprints. That's my goal. I think we have time for that with my blabbing, and then we're going to wrap up with a half hour. So let us begin our next 15-minute sprint. Another one down. That felt really short. I don't know if that was just me. I I not in my story. I got 282 words technically, but I was just transcribing back so that I have them not just PDF. I'm looking at all these old records in PDF form and then try to use my spreadsheets and stuff. So now I have my student list, and I just remembered when I was looking at this before, I was actually considering taking the names of real students and using them as characters and then like giving them a fictional life. The mic is breaking up. That's weird. Should be fine. I don't normally have trouble with this one. I wonder if maybe it is. Okay. All right. Thank you. I wiggled the USB around. Earlier I had a thing saying it disconnected, so I think maybe it just wasn't like pushed in properly. So I'm glad it is no longer garbled. Oh, if you couldn't hear anything for a minute, that's annoying. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I was just saying how I was copying student lists from PDFs into my spreadsheets. And I was remembering looking at these before, and I was considering using actual student names for my characters. But then it got kind of complicated because some of them are like known, and some of them had histories like that you could find online, some you couldn't. And I was like, I should probably not use real people like when possible, especially when it's just like, I don't know, lists of their degrees and stuff like that, and you don't know much about them. And I'm assuming like these people have descendants who are still around and might read it and be like, that's not what my grandpa, great grandpa was, that sort of thing. So I am putting my characters in, but these are going to be sort of background and side characters. So I am going to include their names in the story. So that'll be kind of fun. 66. Excellent. And 452 edited. That's great. I'm glad you're making progress. I think I have to go backwards and do a bit more setup, like I was saying about characters, so I can get into it more. Whopping 0 words. Yeah, okay. That's good. I think this is okay. Keeping yourself fed is sometimes more important than writing. Believe it or not. I had to make sure that I ate before I got started things today because we were doing a workshop on the Discord server for the Order of the Written Word, and we had that running from noon until 1:30, and then I had half an hour before I started these sprints here because I wanted to be able to be sure that our Discord members could attend both. And I was like, I'm not going to have time between these to make something, and I don't want to not eat until like after 4 p.m. So I actually thought ahead. It's very good. Congrats on the 175. Very good progress here today. Got a little more time to talk here because we're going to do one more 15. Actually, I guess with the 15 and talking in between and then the half hour, we should actually wind up like exactly on time today, or very close to it, more than last time. I think we went over by 15 minutes last time, but it's not that big a deal. This time I am hoping to be on time because I have to run an errand really quickly, and the store is only open for an hour after this ends. So we're preparing for markets with Stygian, so I'm picking up printing from all over the place. Wait, what? Oh, I missed your comment, Kasha. I like that. That is very different. Unicorn therapists. Is that like, I'm thinking of the various definitions of the word unicorn. Is it like a literal fantasy unicorn? You can't just drop that and not explain. You just can't. Oh, by the way, quick little plug. Anyone who's in the order, and also anyone who's not, we have our t-shirts out. Sorry, if you don't want to, you don't have to. A little bit of an explanation would be fascinating, though, I believe. Um, just to let you know, whether you are doing the challenge of the written word or you're doing NaNoWriMo or anything, we have our Keeper of the Written Word shirts out now, and I'm so happy with how they turned out. They're really, really cool. Our artist who, did a design for the t-shirt. We're not using like winner or loser terminology because I don't think that that's really helpful when we're building a routine for writing. So we're using keeper. Anyone who is participating in the challenge, they're, promoting human creativity, saying no to AI generated works. And so they are a keeper of the written word. And it's just such a cool design. I love what Lori did. She really outdid herself, honestly. So I'm going to drop the t-shirt. Well, there's two. We have one that's a fashion fit and one that's like a unisex one. So I'm just gonna show these here if you want to check them out. And a third of the profits go to the order for future events. A third goes to the artist, and a third goes to our charity, Pro Literacy. So that's why those are like a tiny bit more pricey than our other designs, because we're trying to get some funds for this charity and for the artist too. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to Google that. That's interesting. I've never ever heard of this. All right, cool. I'm learning so many things today. It's always a good day when you learn new things. Alrighty, I think we can get into our final 15-minute sprint. Anyone who's just joining us, I'm seeing some numbers fluctuate again. If you're just joining us, we're doing one more 15-minute, and then we are wrapping up the session with a half-hour sprint. So get ready to write. We're going to be having our timer up here. It'll have some music, and I will mute myself, and I'll be back in 15 minutes to see how all of you did and discuss how I did. Maybe I'll actually get some words this time. That would be great. And that's our final 15-minute sprint. We're going to be going into the half hour in a minute. How did everyone do on that one? Are you immersed? Are you in it? Are you ready for this half hour to get a lot of words in? I did do writing this time. I found a pretty cool McGill professor who I was giving kind of an intro to, just a historical intro. I'm incorporating little educational snippets in the story to give people sort of more depth and background of the people who actually do exist and maybe look them up. And I'm going to have like a whole index at the back of the book. It's going to be interesting. But for word count, what did I do? I got 100, exactly 100 in this one. And Kasha, I left a comment for you about the Keeper t-shirts because it just reminded me. I was like, oh, right. I needed to address this. We work with Printful at the moment. I want to work with a Montreal producer, but again, like with working with Amazon, we have to start somewhere and we can't do fully local, that sort of thing yet, but we will eventually. But yeah, Printful, I was looking it up and they do definitely ship to Finland. So I don't know why it's not appearing. I checked on the site too, like on our site, and I do see that it's not loading when I put that country in. So it might be something that I have to set on Wix. I'm not sure. But I am going to write to Printful if I can't sort it out and see what they can do. Worst case scenario, I might be able to, like, I can message you and I might be able to put the order in myself and then we can like manage directly. That might be it. So we'll figure it out though. It is such a good shirt. I saw someone post their picture with the one that they had received in the Discord server and I was so excited. I don't even have mine yet. I have other order shirts. So I have the black one with the big white logo and I have a gold one with the little embroidery and they are really, really nice. Yes, I will DM or email. Thank you. 414 edited. Oh, yeah, those are really stressful. I know exactly what you mean. I try to put stuff in like that and it's like, is it actually going to hit? You really want it to hit. We did a workshop, the workshop I was mentioning before in the Discord server with an author named Ren, and they do these great workshops, and this one was on raising the stakes in your writing, and I found it super useful. It's just sort of bringing out those emotional things a little bit and other stuff. I'm not sure if they post their workshops on YouTube or on their website or anything. I'm going to have to ask them because they are quite good and a great resource that I would love to link out to people. They're like, I've done a lot of workshops and educational things and watched stuff on YouTube quite a bit, and theirs are actually quite different, which is hard to find. 137, congrats. Hello, Claruga. Nice to see you. I'm really glad that you're doing better and that you are back to writing. That's a good sign. It's always good when you can get back to your creative pursuits. We're just about to start our half-hour sprint, which will be the final one for the day, and I do have to start it right away and not talk too much because I have to run out and do a last-minute errand when these are done. So, all right. I'm going to get this ready to go so it doesn't start automatically. I'm excited for this one. I'm hoping to do maybe 200 words, depending on the research. I'm going to aim for 200. That's my goal. Everyone let me know what your goal is for this final half hour. 280. Congrats. That's the thing with drafting. Like, your quality is not going to be that great, and that's okay. And I always have to remind myself of that I am going to go back after. I am going to make it better. It's just a matter of getting it out there. You have to get that draft done. If you have that draft in place, the beginning to end, it's so much easier to just go back in and add stuff and check for plot holes and make it pretty, etc. I know, like they did do the workshops twice to try and hit different time zones, but it is really hard. It's hard to manage, and I was going to try to record them all, but that did not happen. If anyone knows how to record stuff on Discord, please let me know. I have been trying so many different things and it just doesn't work. I like that, raising the stakes in a vampire story. Excellent. Okay. All right. I'm going to shut up. We are going to write final sprint of the day. Welcome to anyone who's just joining. I see we've got 8 people now. Happy to see you here. We're going to write. So get ready. Let me know in the chat if you would like, if you have a specific goal for this sprint. Mine is 200 words. And let's get going. Okay, that went by even faster than the last one. Oh my gosh. I didn't hit my goal, but I did do more than I did last time. I did 158 words this time around. So for the entire 2-hour session, let me just take a look. 339 words. As a fast writer, this drives me insane. Usually I'm at like over 25,000 at this point. But again, very different type of novel, lots more research required, lots more detail. So it's going to be different. And that is okay. 211 is great. I was feeling it more on this one. I was still doing a little bit of research. I'm writing about a professor called William Wright, who was teaching Materia Medica at McGill, so I'm trying to get him right. And I have a document that was given to me by an ex-McGill employee who had this journal of students discussing their sort of student life at McGill at this time, which is kind of cool. So you have actual little like descriptions of how the professors were, how they behaved, how they spoke, that kind of thing. 143 is excellent, and 574 total. Nice. Oh no. No. How is it now? Maybe it is related. It could be to do with the background music or something. That's really annoying. It was fine last time I did this. Now it stopped. Okay. All right. Yeah. Verse and vignette are not quite as word count oriented. They are story or poetry count oriented. So that'll be great. How many do you have down so far? Oh, yes, yes, you are. I forgot about that. I'm really excited to announce our spring and summer events because I am going to do that as a, I've done camp before and I would like a switch for oh no. I'm so sorry. I figured I would see how those counts were for stories and poems this round. The stories I was picturing like 2 per week. The poems I was just looking to like a number that you might see in like a chapbook. So yeah. Well, I hope you can get them done. I'm going to be preparing a Google survey at the end of this just to get everyone's feedback who participated since this is our first year and see what people thought was good, what they thought was bad, what they thought was too much or too little, that sort of thing. So I am really looking forward to seeing what people have to say. But what I was saying, we are going to be doing spring and summer events as a replacement for camp because I like doing those too sometimes, and they're going to be less word count focused. I'm still sorting out how that's going to go, but it'll be a different type of challenge. 586. All right, this is good. This is really good. It sounds like we all had a pretty good time. I do have to run out and do this errand, pick up some printing, ship a package, and, Sunday hours, everything shuts down at 5, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to run, but I really appreciate all of you joining. I am going to have my next vlog update on my writing live tomorrow. I'm hoping maybe by noon, but it might be like an after work type thing. I usually try to put my videos out either during lunchtime or when people are finished work. So one of the two. Oh no. I hate when you get to a certain point with something and you're like, oh no, I have to scrap it. Well, I do visual art. That was my original sort of career choice. I went through fine arts and stuff, so I tend to draw my characters, but when I don't have time to draw, which I think is going to be this time, I make them in Sims. I work with Sims a lot. And I actually did a video on my channel. If you look back, it's called Writing for Simmers, I think, or Sims for Writers, one of the two. And I talk a little bit about it. I don't know how good that video still is. It's an old one. I have not rewatched it. I probably don't want to. But I do talk about using Sims to build out your characters and build out locations. And the way Sims 4 is, especially if you are able to get the various expansions, it's pretty good with brainstorming. And it's a fun way to relax, but also still feel like you're getting writing done. So I will often just sort of sandbox around in The Sims when I'm working on my characters. I will be sprinting again next Sunday. It's going to be earlier though. The reason I did this one later was because of the workshop. So I will be back to, oh, actually, no, I won't. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot. Actually, I might in the evening, but I totally forgot. I have a market on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to be at Exposine in Montreal from 11 till 6 both days. So stay tuned. I will update in my community tab about what I'll do. I might be able to do an evening sprint session because I was hoping to do these every week and I couldn't last week. So yeah, I'm going to see what I can do with that. Oh, cool. Love meeting other people who draw their characters. 7 mortal Sims. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little bit far, unfortunately. I'm going to be trying to travel with Stygian now that we've got all of our convention stuff. It's kind of a convention and market stuff. It's kind of an investment at first when you get all the banners, etc. So now that we have them, it'll be a little easier to plan things. We're trying to go to the Calgary Fan Expo, and I'm going to apply to other Comic Cons and see what our budget is. So hopefully I'll be traveling across Canada over the next few years doing that. And yeah, all right, so I'm going to run. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, for writing with me. I might be back next Sunday. Stay tuned for updates. I will be sprinting on Friday, though, on the Discord server. So please be sure to join there if you haven't already. I'm just going to drop the link for the order in here, and that has the little join button so you can join our Discord server because I don't want to generate a link right now. I don't have time. All right. I will see you all soon. I will post my video on Monday. Thank you again, and I hope that you all continue to have a day that is just as wonderful as you are. Bye.